What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me fine? Can you hear me well? Can you hear me good at all? Can everybody hear me?
Hi,
Tonya, what's
Lon.
up?
Hi. How are you doing?
Tonya's in the house.
How are you
Uh,
doing?
no, I mean, I'm doing okay. You know, my life's kind of scawampus, but really, how are you doing? You've got the son who's up for a Bolitnikoff Award this year, and you're traveling all over the country every weekend.
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Tired, but
Well, of course. I mean, you're clocking the miles. I mean, you guys have been going to all over the country. Florida this year already, Alabama to Auburn. Um, there's been a lot of different traveling, but New York City could be in the future there. How has this been? You know, this season. It's kind of been a dreamlike season for you, for Malik, for your family.
it's um it's been an experience. I'm truly happy for him. Um, every day it's I have to pinch myself sometimes because I have to pinch myself and say, my goodness, that's my son. You know what I'm saying? I knew the qualities that he had, but to actually see it on display, and for the world to see it, it's amazing. It truly is.
Well, I mean, he's now the number one receiver, Tanya. The number one receiver in America. Nobody can take that away from him. No one can say, hey, no, when you see number two right now, he's the number one in yards, number three in touchdowns,
Hmm.
in catches, first in receiving yards per game. He's had the fourth all-time single game LSU receiving performance against Mississippi State when he destroyed Mississippi State this season already. But it's that kind of season for 3 years now. He's been all over the Blitnikoff race as a prime candidate. He's had his first major interview on SEC Network there on Out of Pocket. He was there on Out of Pocket this last week. How,
Right.
how have you seen your son kind of mature and adapt to the big stage, as he's kind of firmly risen to it?
I've seen him adapt very well, because he's such a quiet person. Besides being on the field, me and him are very. I'm camera shy for sure. So, and I kind of felt like he was too. But just yesterday, I was telling him, I said, do you get nervous when you're on camera? And he says, no. He's adapted to it. So I'm extremely proud of him because I'm talking to you, but I'm nervous right now.
Hey, I still get nervous for every show usually. Unless I've talked to the person for a long time, and with you, I got to be honest, I wasn't really too nervous. It was just like I really wanted to make sure I delivered with the questions because he's not just one of the best receivers in the country, the best receiver in the country. Your son has become one of the best overall players in America, and we've been on that train for a while, kind of believing that would happen.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've seen him do that's kind of surprised you or shocked you this year,
Um, to me, every game something different in him for every game. So I don't go to the games with any type of expectation. I know he's gonna do his very best, but I see something different every time I see him on the field, and I'm very observant. Like my brother-in-law was telling me for one of the games, maybe changed his gloves for one game, and I said, "Oh, he's coming out with his gloves changed," and my brother-in-law was like, "You notice everything." I am totally focused on number 8 when he's playing. I feel like I don't see any other player because I'm a nervous parent, so I'm watching his movement, I'm watching his body language. I can tell if he's hurting. I mean, I just notice everything.
I mean, that's true because there's times over the years that I'm like, did Malik do this or did this happen? You're like, no, that I didn't see that, and it's like you're seeing every damn play, and you're dialed in, you're watching your son. But hey, I mean, it's easy to watch your son. He's literally been, I mean, this has been so entertaining just to watch
Mhm.
play football. I mean, like
Mhm.
he's been entertaining every season he's played, Tanya, but like this season it's almost automatic between him, Jaden Daniels, this offense. He's now part of what you would probably say is the second greatest LSU Tigers offense, just behind that 2019 greatest of all time team. Do you
Right.
feel your son right now, if it were to be given today, do you feel he deserves that Blitnikoff Award?
Absolutely. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And I know his work ethic. I know what he's put into it. Um I remember early on him being maybe a sophomore or a junior, and when I would get off for work, I would see him literally in the apartment complex next to the pool when all the other kids were playing and having fun in the pool. He was next to the pool on using his agility ladder. Like, yeah, early mornings I would get up, he wouldn't be there. The coach would have picked him up, and they were doing route running or conditioning. Like, this is nothing that happened overnight. I've seen my son really, really work hard for where he is now.
He's earned every step of the way. He's earned it every step of the way, and he's actually not alone in being
Right,
amazing at LSU right now.
right,
He's got a good friend, Brian Thomas Jr., leading the country number one in touchdowns. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. He's got 11. Brian's got 11. Malik's got 9.
right,
What's their friendship been like? They're kind of an unexpected tandem for a lot of people.
right. I don't really know like how in depth their relationship is. Um, I do know, Brian is a little quiet. So I don't really know, how in detail they go as far as their relationship, but I know on the field it is explosive. Like, you can tell that chemistry is there. The chemistry is there also with Kyron. I just feel like they're all on the same page. And when it's go time, it is go time for all of them.
Oh yeah, you can see it clearly that hey, Kyron has had some drops, but then he also was the biggest player of the game, and absolutely just directly won us a game in that same game where he was making drops. So like,
Right.
Brian Thomas Jr.'s had some drops. There's times where guys have had some mistakes and then just turned it on the next
Hmm.
they get the football.
Right.
So maybe some adversity here or there, but it doesn't really matter. They've put up some outrageous, historic numbers at LSU. But as a mother, Tanya, what's your favorite part of this game day experience, week in, week out? Do all the LSU Tiger moms get together for games, or are there like families that maybe you like to go tailgate with?
I'm always with my family. It's always my younger sister Phaedra, because her son Jordan Allen plays.
Yes.
So, and my older sister, she comes when she's able to. My daughter, my brother-in-law. But my favorite time to go is the Tiger Walk. I literally be killing myself to get there on time, because I love to see my son walking down that Tiger Walk in his suit and his tie, and knowing that I just to hear people call his name and holler. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm probably the loudest one out there. Me and my family are probably the loudest ones out there, but just to see that smile that he gives me when he sees me, I mean, proud is an understatement. I just it's a new feeling every time I see him walk down that Tiger Walk. And I could literally be standing by the door that they go into, and I could look up at Victory Lane at the top, and I can see him. I can point him out. I can say, oh, he has on a gray suit today, or he has on a black suit. Like I can I can see him out of everybody.
That's your son. The mother knows her son.
Yeah.
And just he looks dapper. He just absolutely looks so fly with what he's wearing this season. Oh, I love what Kelly has done. Kind of like made sure the guys have tailored suits, made sure the
Yes.
guys are so over the top classy. Like you can't be classy enough. Like no, it can't. The suit can't look more tighter. Like really, it's okay. Let's flash that. Let's
Right.
show our flair. Let's show some personality. I mean, I remember Greg Brooks Jr. had that neon yellow
Yeah.
yellow suit earlier this season. It was I love what they're doing with the suits, and
I
Malik
love it.
looks
I love it.
just. I mean, I hope he gets to keep those suits. I hope those suits, follow with him to the NFL because man, he's looking sick. But either way, I'm sure he'll be able to afford quite a few. But hey, he's had everything go his way right now, though, Tonya. But not all has in his LSU career.
Right.
I'm going to say a few situations, and when I'm just kind of done listing these moments of simplicity, just kind of tell me how you think Malik flipped each situation to his advantage, because that's really truly what happened.
Okay.
Fumbles versus Florida State on the punt returns.
First of all, he handled that situation so much better than I did. He turned something so negative into a positive. He didn't sit down and dwell on everything that happened. He pushed forward. Like it happened. A new game is coming. I have to focus on the next game. Now, his mama, I was deeply crushed. Not because of his performance, but more because of the backlash that he had received on Twitter. It blew my mind. And I remember him calling me because I was actually tweeting and going up against some of these people that were saying all these ugly things. And I remember him calling me and telling me, Mom, get off of Twitter. Like, these people don't know me. They don't know the man that you've raised. I'm okay. I'm not even listening to that. And I don't want you to listen to it and make yourself sick over it. He said, just get off of Twitter, Mom. He said, you know who you raised. And I cried, but I was like, you're right. You're right. I raised a strong young man. Okay, I'm gonna get off. So I got off of it for a while.
I mean, I've fallen into that trap too, where you want to tell people that they're wrong. You want people to tell why they're wrong. But it's like, you know what? He was so right. They're not even worth your time. Think about where you're going to be, and where you already are basically right now, where they are probably.
Right.
It's night and day. You have joy that they will never feel. And they're probably, the funny part about it right now, they're probably the ones in the crowd cheering him on, drunkenly, completely forgetting that they ever even said that.
Right. There was one tweet that I had seen recently, maybe like after the Mississippi State game. There was a guy, I cannot remember his Twitter name, but he said that he wished that he had an opportunity to meet Malik in person and to apologize for every ugly thing he said from the Florida State game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's rare.
Right. Right.
I love that, though. I mean, I don't know why people were bailing on him, because it's like, okay, yeah, he had a moment there. What did he do the next drive right after Mekhi Wingo gets that fumble? He gets our next two third downs right after 2 plays, right in front of national television, right in front of the world, the number one game everyone's watching, and he makes those 2 plays right when LSU need it. I mean, no one could question his guts to me from then on. But then
Exactly.
he had an injury right before week 1 of his year.
Right.
I'm not sure if everyone remembers, but there was a lot of talk about him being a starting receiver for that 2021 team. A lot. Coach O was already on his bandwagon. and then he got a little bit of an injury, couldn't play until like week 3 or 4, and still made the All SEC freshman team.
Yeah.
But barely played like he should have, like barely played enough that where he probably would have back then.
Right.
20 was kind of setting up for him to start and succeed after he kept shocking the coaches in practice, and then the injury happened, but he still rebounded from that and made the All SEC freshman team. It was just, to me, that's something worth mentioning. But then his senior year of high school at Southside, being completely taken from him by the Louisiana High School Association, right in the pandemic season. How did that happen? What was that about, Tonya?
So I had moved. I had found a house. It's one thing for you to I had been working 2 jobs, and so I had finally gotten myself into a more financial stable, and I moved to Youngsville. And when we moved, I mean, I didn't when I thought to move, I was moving my family to something better. So I never thought anything about football. We were just moving. And I remember his coach at Como was like, he ain't gonna be able to play. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Because we're moving. It's not like I'm trying to get him over there. And when it all boiled down to it, and everything that we had to go through to prove that we were living there, I mean, they came by the house, they inspected his room. I remember I remember the inspector, I was walking down the hall with him, and he says, "Oh, Miss Nabers, can you tell me where you keep your toilet paper?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "In the laundry room up above the washer and dryer." And he says, "Well, can you show it to me?" And I said, "Yes, sir." Open the door. And he looked, and then I closed the door. We're walking, and he says, "Oh, one more thing. What color is Malik's toothbrush?" And
What?
I said it's blue, and it's in the bathroom. And he made me turn on the light and show him. And that's when I guess that I was so oblivious to a lot of what was going on, but that's when it really made sense, like, oh my God, like, this is serious. I just was moving to move myself into a better living situation. And yeah, it was crazy.
And that's when you realize probably how good your son was, because I mean they're paying attention to him, but it's like some big deals happened here between Southside. What's going on? And you just were moving, and
Yeah, we're just moving.
there's no smoke with that fire, and it's just incredible that they took his senior season from him. I don't
Yeah.
understand. It's unconscionable to me.
Right, right, right. I mean, he was disappointed, um, but he didn't sit down and let it fester. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, I can't play. I'm going to teach those who can play the game. And that's what he did. Like, he became like a coach on the sidelines. He was dapping his players up, and when they did something wrong, he'd pull them off aside and say, "Hey, watch when this corner does this and you do this." And like, he persevered, and it was amazing, because I don't know if I would have been able to handle as many as much as adversity as he has had to handle to be so young.
I mean, that's true. That's true, because maybe you would, though, because you've basically been through all this adversity with him at the same time, and lockstep have followed through with him, and so you've dealt with a lot of stuff too, and
Right.
he's just he everyone when you're that good, when you're that young, there's a big target on your back. There's a big
Mhm.
bull on your back. People love to build you up, love to break you down. And I just think it's really funny how quickly usually there's kind of like a stretch of time where people are kind of kicking you down. That time happened for like a day with Malik, and then it was over. Like
Right.
the next game he was catching a touchdown, people kind of forgot about it. And someone said, like, maybe Chris Blair, the LSU announcer, is like, that's a good tonic for Malik to get a touchdown, confidence building or whatever, use the term confidence building. And then from there, just was destroying people for 1,000 yards. But
Right.
for many who know Malik, his family, friends, teammates, coaches, what experiences or people even do you feel like have really shaped him into who he is today?
I think when I'm talking about family, I say me, because I mean I'm his biggest motivator. I won't, and I'm like his voice. I'm his voice of reason, I would say. Um Anytime he may have a issue, he knows he can always talk to me. I'm level-headed, very level-headed. So me and him have a very, very good communication. Um, I can also say my brother-in-law, my younger sister Jordan's dad, Reginald Allen, he's been phenomenal in his life. And um, just the love that he has, for Malik, and wanting him to do good. And he'll sit down and have those conversations with him. My sisters, my daughter. But I do want to mention that we when people say you have a village, you need a village to raise your kids. I can honestly say 100% I had that, from my family to his coaches. I can only thank his coaches, but coaches like Nelson and Dwight and Ben. And if I'm missing any, I do apologize. But there's one in particular that I must acknowledge, and that's Donald Fuse, Donald Fuseli, but Coach Fuse.
Yes.
This man took my son underneath his wing and showed him everything that he knows. And let me tell you, and this is exclusive because nobody ever heard this story, but I'm going to give you the story. I'm going to tell you how we met him. So I worked two jobs at the time. So Malik had came home one day and he says, Mom, he said they have a 7-on-7 tryout. I wanted to know if you can bring me to it. And I was like, sure, yeah, I'll bring it to you. Bring you to it, not knowing that the 7-on-7 was on my only day off, which was the Sunday. And so I never thought anything of it, because I'm thinking in my mind it's going to be in the afternoon. I never thought it was going to be in the morning. So I say, oh yeah, yeah, Mama will bring you to it. So I'm laying down in the bed and he comes back and he says, Mom, we have to be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I said, 7 o'clock. So instantly my thoughts of sleeping in were no more. I said, okay, no problem. I'm gonna bring you. So we get up that next morning, and as I'm getting dressed, I hear like a little chime on my phone from my bank. And so an unexpected withdrawal came out of my account, and it left me with only $20 in my account. And I didn't want to tell him, but we get in the car and he says, Mom, he said the 7-on-7 is in Baton Rouge. And I was like, oh my goodness. But I didn't want to tell him. So I said, when he got in the car, I said, Pop, I said, I have $20 to my name. I said, I'm going to put $10 in the account. I mean, $10 in the gas tank. That'll get us back and forth. And we'll have to eat on the dollar menu with the other $10. I said, is that good? And he said, oh yeah, Mom, that's good. So we get to Baton Rouge and we're sitting there and it is freezing cold outside, and all he has on is his Como shorts and the jacket that he had. And so he gets out, and first of all, I'm looking at all these boys and I'm thinking, well, why do they look so much bigger and older? But it didn't dawn on me. So he goes and he gets his little registration, he gets his number, and I'm looking in the car and I'm like, man, I know he's cold out there. So I happened to look in the back seat and I seen that he had his white tights that he would put underneath his jersey. So I called him back to the car and I said, look, Mama got your tights. So he comes back in the car and he puts them on. He was like, oh, Mom, thank you, because it's cold out there. So as he's changing his clothes, I just closed my eyes and I said, Lord, I said, I know you got us here for a reason. I said, I just need one person to see my child's talent. I just need one person to see his talent. And when I opened my eyes, Coach Fuse was passing in front of my car. And I said, God, I said, that's who I want to see my child's talent. That's who I want. Because I thought Coach Fuse at the time was a scout. I didn't think he was just a coach. So Malik gets out and I'm the little camera girl. Okay. And all the video that I have are horrible because every time he made a catch, I was jumping and screaming and hollering. So I didn't have any good film to give to him. So we're standing out there and I mean, he is going up against these guys and he's going over their head. And I mean, he's just doing everything. And then I start to see some more kids coming and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is an all day event. I'm never going to get home and rest. So the coach that has everything going on, he stops the practice and he says, all the new guys that are coming on, y'all need to go to the other field next to the one that we were on. Y'all need to go over there and start conditioning and warming up, and the coaches are gonna go when they're done with this group. So he says all the 15-year-olds, y'all can go to that group now. So Malik leaves the group that he's at and he's going with the 15-year-olds, and they stopped him and they said, hey, what you doing? You've been here all morning. That's the 15-year-olds. And he says, I am 15. And come to find out, all those boys that he was going up against were 17 and 18 years old.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's just one story that proves why Malik's got it. And no one can deny it. And he's had it for a while. And, you know, whether things have been good, bad, win or loss, he has given everything. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen him take some nasty hits for LSU. I've seen there are times where he's with his shoulder and he's like, you know, and then he's back in the game and I guess he's fine. I guess it's like just because you see him making more plays doesn't mean he's fine. He's still
Right.
hurt than before. It's just I just can't believe some of the things I've seen from him. His mentality, his steely mentality. But one of the things I appreciate the most about Malik, Tonya,
Mm-hmm.
is the type of friend he is to people.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, even though he's left for TCU, he still always is in contact with Jack. You know, Kyron Lacey is one of his close friends, Brian
Right.
Thomas Jr., as you said before, and as Jordan Allen has said on this show as well. You know, you guys are family, of course. And
Yes.
the tight bond he has with Jaden Daniels, his starting quarterback, and even the backup quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, as we
That's
said
fine.
last week.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple times, him and Nuss have combined for touchdowns. But what kind of qualities does Malik look for when picking his friends?
I think he looks for maybe trustworthy people because he's very private. Um, I think that he looks for somebody that can be a long term friend. Um, it's basically it's just he values a lot of people and he looks like when he picks his friends he looks for maybe values in his friends that he may want or may see from maybe like my brother-in-law
Yes,
or you know maybe a value from me. I don't know. He's just very strategic about his friends. And so I never have to question these people that he's with, because he won't put himself in situations um where his friends are questionable.
absolutely. They've always got his six. They've always got his back.
Always have his back, yes.
What do you think it is about like your son that draws people to him though? But just way beyond football, not even talking about football.
I think probably his personality. He is very, very funny. Um, but he's also serious too. So you'll have that funny side, and then you'll have that side when you know he's serious. And you see that serious side definitely on the field. Now, when he makes a touchdown, you'll see that fun, you know, side of him, but you'll see a serious side too. So it just, I don't know. It's I don't know what to say about, it's just he'll have that serious side, and then he'll have that fun side.
There's just something interesting about Malik. I think it just draws a lot of fans to being his, a big supporter of his. I think it's going to help him in the NFL as being a personality that people love to watch every week. That
Mhm.
people kind of root more for individuals now than teams in the
Right.
NFL. And someone like Malik who's going to put up the numbers every week. I mean, it's almost like clockwork. He's going to at least get 90 receiving yards, at least
Mhm.
8 catches. It's just I think he's got that personality that is really going to take off for him in that next level. But out of all the games you've seen Malik play, all the games you've ever seen your son play, including high school, including if you want the bootleggers 7v7 as well, oh,
Mhm.
and of course his 3 years at LSU, what's the best performance from Malik you have ever witnessed?
The best performance would probably be the Mississippi State game. I would say that was his best performance, because he really, I think that's what that game really solidified the talent that he had for anybody that was still questioning him
Oh
and
yeah.
his abilities. Um, I think that's the game that really opened a lot of eyes. If they still had shut eyes to him, they didn't have him after that game.
100%. I don't. You couldn't have summarized that game any better because literally it wasn't just a breakout game. He's had breakout games before. He almost went for 200 against Georgia. He almost went
Mhm.
for 100 against Purdue. He's had breakout games before. This was a game that was just like he was unstoppable, untouched.
Mhm.
He looked like an NFL. He looked like a Sunday player, and no one, even if you were like Malik Nabers hater. I am Mr. Malik Nabers hater, which I've never really even heard of, but say there is a guy who's Mr. Malik Nabers hater, even they would be like, oh, performance. Like, Malik just, he literally wrapped Mississippi State up in a tarp and rolled them down the hill. He was just, something special that day. And that was the game that was like, nope, no more questioning, no more doubting, but to see him grow from that performance and not just like, okay, I had a big game. I'm going to get 60 yards here. Just make sure I get touchdowns and whatever, do the bare minimum. He is absolutely like, I don't care if I'm a first round pick. I want to be the top, I want to be a top 5 pick. I want to be the number 1 pick. Like he doesn't
Mhm.
settle for anything less. And he doesn't really feel that, oh, I'm going to be comfortable just getting a Bolitnikoff. I mean, he's probably shooting for the Heisman, knowing his mentality.
Yeah, I just I think he wants everybody to know, um every effort that he's put into the game. Like Malik, when you truly understand football and you understand how to play, he's out there and he's doing absolutely what he loves. And when you play and you can tell when somebody's playing just to play and when they truly love the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he truly, truly loves the game, understands what comes with it, but truly loves the game. And when I see that in him all the time, um, and I know the work and everything that he's put in to be where he is now. And I'm just happy for him. I'm happy for his determination. I'm happy for his ability to continue to push forward even when the spotlight wasn't on him. Um, I'm very appreciative for those that seen his qualities early on. You were definitely one of them. I look at that video and listen to it all the time because when he was a freshman in college, somebody had finally got it to me. They had finally seen
Which video?
and huh?
Which video was this?
It's the video where you said something about if Malik doesn't start, he's going to it's going to be a mistake. Um
I
because
remember this video.
you said he was giving Kayshawn some separation. He was allowing
Oh yeah.
for Kayshawn to have that separation.
I mean, those two. It was great to see it live, to see what
Yeah.
those could do together on a field against Georgia. They both
Mhm.
were like 150 or whatever, and you could see what those two, how they could directly influence and greaten each other's game. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't see Malik's talents, and I was so shocked that it took literally an 11th hour flip from Mississippi State to for LSU to finally get him on the roster. But you know what? Whether it was, last minute or someone got him on the team to cover their butt, whether someone
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. Malik
No.
got the opportunity, he took it, and no one's getting in his way right now. No one's stopping him. Only Malik can stop himself, and he's got too strong of a mentality to do that.
Yeah.
I really hope to meet you before the Florida game, during the Florida game, after the Florida game. I'll be crowd surfing towards you, and every time Malik gets a touchdown, I'll give a high five, and then I'll be crowd surfed back to the press box. It'll be a crazy time, Tonya.
I hope
Um,
I get to see you too.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I don't even have to say good luck for Malik the rest of the season. He's gonna dominate, and he's gonna do what he does, and I cannot wait to see him hopefully getting that Blitnikoff Award, getting the recognition he's deserved. Has just been such a pleasure this season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. Sorry it took so long for us to connect, but thank you so much, Lon. I appreciate all that you've done for me.
Tonya, always a pleasure. No problem. You're a friend forever.
Thank you
Seriously.
so much. And tell Sage I said hi.
Oh, I will. I will. Thank you, Tonya.
Alrighty. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye bye.
Tonya Nabers. Tiger Mom Tonya Nabers. Unbelievable. Got our Fresca on ice, and you heard it from her. A lot can be said about Malik Nabers, his talents, his skills on the field, his next level abilities, catching the football, what he could be doing as a professional. There can be a lot of debate. Is Brian Thomas Jr. the number one guy? Is Malik? You can say whatever you want. You can be even like Malik Nabers isn't good. You can even have that opinion. Whatever. What no one can deny is that Malik Nabers doesn't want it the most when he steps out there. He simply wants it more than the other guys. He plays like it. He works like it. He runs routes like it. Catches the ball like it. I mean, yes, he's had some drops. But if you go back and you watch Justin Jefferson, you watch Jamar Chase, there's times those guys dropped touchdowns. There's times those guys dropped the most wide open thing in the world. And it was like, what the hell's going on? But you forgot about it because they caught 3 touchdowns that game. You're forgetting about Malik dropping passes. If he's dropped like 1 or 2 this season. And you forget about it because he's just so damn good. He's just so damn automatic and electric. I mean, look at the numbers here: 981 first, 122.6 first. I mean, and he's close to some records. He's only 19 yards away from becoming just the fourth LSU Tiger to eclipse 1,000 yards twice in their LSU career. All three did this consecutive seasons. Wendell Davis, Tony Moss, and Josh Reed. Of course, most people will just say it's just Malik and Josh. I get it. You want to look like he's in even more rarefied company, but really, let's include Wendell Davis and Tony Moss, because if they had actually counted bowl stats, which they do now, they would have counted those games, and they would have easily went over 1,000 yards. They were already like 6, 7, 10 yards away from it already. So we gave those guys their due in that statistic as well, and we thought that was only the right thing to do. But Malik, just one more catch probably from getting that record. Unbelievable. He already has the fourth all-time single game receiving performance for LSU history, 239 yards against Mississippi State. He has answered every question. He has delivered on every prediction, every suggestion of his talent. And that meant a lot for Tonya to talk about how she was watching our video years after. Even that really makes you. It's why you do this. It's why I do this type of stuff, is because I want to help people reach that pinnacle. I'm going for that pinnacle, and I feel like when they go for that absolute, fourth all-time single game performance against Mississippi State, what I write about that has to match that in greatness, or there's no point in even putting it out. We'll fall short doing this type of stuff because it's more casual, it's more relaxed. There's sometimes there's obscenities, sometimes there's babies crying, random stuff like that. But the writing part of it, I love it because you get to be really chiseled, perfected with it. And if you really want to check out a really cool thing we did, was we had Tonya and Malik both interviewed alongside Jack Besh in an article about those two's friendship heading into that 2022 season, behind the friendship of Jack Besh, the unbreakable friendship of Jack Besh and Malik Besh. I mean, Jack Besh and Malik, but Jack Besh and Malik Nabers. It's there on LSUODYSSEY.com. It was a very popular article at the time. Tonya's amazing. We've been speaking with her for years, and it just felt so comfortable to talk to her. And I hope you guys all enjoy this. And we're going to be sharing this a lot more, because that's the thing, is we kind of had to go flying into this thing a bit. And so we want to share this thing around and get everyone a chance to watch this Friday night movie, watching Tonya Nabers going through why her son is the best receiver in America, and why she did a hell of a job raising him to be the man that he is. Seriously, it's not like he's just born that way. Just Malik Nabers, he's the reason he's the young man he is, because of that woman that I just spoke to, that mother that I just spoke to. Just know that, Tonya, you're an amazing woman. Total 100% class. And I can't even believe she's given this young and experienced kind of weird writer the time of day, but she has. And for that, we're really grateful. And we're never going to be off the Malik train, because we knew rain, shine, win, loss, good game, bad game, he was going to come around, and this was going to be an inevitability. And here we are. If the Biletnikoff was given today, tomorrow, Malik would win it. A few more games to continue to prove that, and I think he will. So, everybody, thank you for watching. If you've come into this late, just rewind it and definitely check out this interview. Definitely like, subscribe, retweet for us. Come on. I mean, we never ask that. We never ask this stuff. Every show you watch, what do they say instantly on the first thing they say? Hit that like, subscribe, retweet. Like, we never do that type of stuff. We're so about the content. We're like so dialed in with this stuff that we rarely bring that shit up. And so please, if you're watching this, if you even check this out for 10 seconds, give us a like, subscribe, baby. And then go to LSUODYSSEY.com and check out the literal library of content we have, including an article that compares the 2023 offense with the 2019 offense in extreme detail. And we give the verdict, and it's no holds barred. And we just want to end this by giving a huge shout out to ReliefMed.com. They are our sponsor, ReliefMed.com, Louisiana's #1 all-natural pain relieving headquarters, the #1 medical marijuana dispensary in Louisiana. It's legal. It's there. It's awesome, baby. You know, you can ditch all these other hard things, these things that are addictive. Go with something that's natural. Go something that's of the earth. Go with something that's from Louisiana. Go with something that's supported by Louisiana, and become quite a awesome, dynamic company there in Louisiana. ReliefMed.com. Get your relief today. RELEAF.com. ReliefMed.com. Everybody, thank you so much for checking this out. You can see that right there at the bottom of ReliefMed.com, LSUODYSSEY.com. What could be better? What could be better? Oh my gosh, we want to acknowledge this before we leave. Jamer, we didn't see your comments. Jamer says, what's up, Ilon? Hi, Tonya. Crap. Wish I would have seen that. Corn Pop says number 8. The heart sign. Yeah. And Biden with a cigarette. Love that. That's a hilarious picture right there. Jamie says, Malik is strong, takes on challenges, perseveres just like his mom. He learned from the best. I'm so happy for Malik, Tonya, and their family. Wishing them all the best always. You can always count on Jamer to bring the love, the positivity, and the good vibes, but also the reality. And that's the reality right there. We just barely said it. She said it before we even said it. Tonya, you know, she raised a hell of a son. And the reason she did was because she's a hell of a person. So that's what you got. Good things happening to good people. Jamer, thank you for watching as always. You're such an awesome supporter, a great friend, and I mean, what else can we say other than you're the Jamer? Dun dun dun. Everybody, I'm gonna get my son, hang out with my dad, drink some Fresca. Everybody, thank you for watching. Go Tigers. We're gonna kick some Bama ass next week. We're gonna have a lot of previews on that coming up very soon. This weekend, you're going to have a lot of Sunday reading. You're going to have a lot of Monday shockers. And get ready for some recruiting things to happen coming soon here. You're going to have a few commitments coming up here. Another 5-star as well. So buckle up. Get subscribed to LSUODYSSEY.com because that news is only going to be for subscribers. Thank you, everybody.